He's always just that active and defending.
I think it's like.
People deluded, I'm back again.
Come on, Ian. Come on.
Just as Ian Wright said there, people deluded, I'm back again. First things first, appreciative to everybody tuned in. If you're new here, make sure you're subscribing. If you're always part of the furniture, appreciate you lot. Please do me a favor, smash the like button, make sure the creative juices are flowing, and you comment any thoughts you have after this premieres, or also while it's premiering, or just any thoughts in general. As we draw to a close of the transfer window, I'm sure there's small hope of Arsenal signing a player or players. It clearly looks like after doing the bulk of our business in the summer, we're now trying to get towards outgoings. You know, the Tavares, the Lokongas, the Cedrics, the Pepes, the Holdings, etc. People, let's see what we've got here. First things first, allegedly Arsenal reject Chelsea inquiry over Emil Smith-Rowe. Now, as the president of Hayland FC and the chairman of Smith-Rowe FC, that's music to my ears. You know, I think we're too late now to be letting players like Smith-Rowe go. If he's not played enough football in January, then not just him, but anyone else, we review things. We need a squad. We've got a lot of football. We've got some injuries already. And I know he's not the flavour of the month. I know right now he's probably behind Martin Odegaard. Havertz has been brought in. There is obviously the luxury of deploying Odegaard, Rice and Partey. And you'd probably say out of the impactors, as Arteta says, Fabio Vieira, based on the fact that he came off the bench in the Community Shield and obviously in the draw against Fulham, he's ahead. But things and situations can change. Smith-Rowe didn't get the number 10 or the big deal for no reason. Situations can change, people. But that's music to my ears, because you could see him going Chelsea and thriving, or them making some money on him. Chelsea are in the hunt for a new attacker and have discussed Smith-Rowe. He is not featured for us in the Premier League this season with the 3 games to date. And allegedly Aston Villa and Newcastle both remain interested, people. Apparently Chelsea have actually moved their attentions towards Cole Palmer of Manchester City. I'm not sure where that is, but for what it's worth, Arsenal told Chelsea where to shove it. Arsenal rejected an approach from Chelsea over versatile midfielder Emil Smith-Rowe. 90-minute understands. Having failed to get a deal for Crystal Palace's Elise over the line, Chelsea remain on the hunt for a player who can help out in a number of different attacking positions, and have drawn up a lengthy list of potential targets, where Smith-Rowe, being young, being English, being Premier League proven, it's unclear where he is at in terms of Mikel Arteta's thinking. For the fans, I'm sure Arteta and him have had a conversation. The collective goes before the individuals, you know, really. And right now, Smith-Rowe isn't in the best team, really. Whether you believe Smith-Rowe or Fabio Vieira, or maybe putting Partey organically in midfield as opposed to Kai Havertz, they're all other debates, people. But we all know he's comfortable out wide and in midfield, and he's emerged allegedly as an option. Chelsea reached out to Arsenal to determine the cost for such a deal, but their inquiry was not back. Sources have confirmed to 90-minute that Arsenal are not currently interested in selling Smith-Rowe, not least to a direct rival like Chelsea. Again, he played 3 minutes at the end of the Community Shield victory. See, so in my head, he didn't even come on, really. That tells you everything. He's been on the bench. Just take your chance when you get it. Allegedly, Aston Villa and Newcastle have both made contact over a potential loan deal, people. Linking up with Una Emre wouldn't be the worst of things. Eddie Howe could do good things for you, obviously, at Newcastle, and they're in the Champions League, but that means it's a myth, really and truly. So yeah, man, it was a frustrating campaign for Smith-Rowe last year. Hopefully it's better this year. Now, Arsenal, Chelsea and Spurs, more aggressively, the other 2 London clubs have been linked with Ansu Fati as his future winds down. It looks like Barca may or may not make a late move for João Felix. I wonder if they get him in. Obviously, with the emergence of that young, talented La Masia guy, Yalmao, is scary that he's 16, 17, looks a real player. Ansu Fati at 20 years of age, unfortunately, is looked at as damaged goods. Apparently, Romano has said Spurs have made contact with him, people, and discussions are also ongoing. He's apparently been presented to Chelsea, and obviously he's got a good agent in George Mendes, so we'll have to see exactly what's gonna go down in that regard. Apparently, his dad would like him to join Sevilla on loan rather than head to the Premier League, people. Arsenal, Chelsea and Tottenham interested in Ansu Fati. I'm sure there's a degree of interest in Arsenal, from Arsenal in the versatile Barcelona forward, but I can't see it happening, really and truly. I'm not in Arsenal's offices, so I don't know. Apparently, his situation has alerted several Premier League clubs, with Arsenal, Chelsea, and Spurs all taking an interest. Aston Villa allegedly also keen, and they're trying to sign Longley or Lynette. I can't pronounce his name, from Barcelona. Maybe a conversation can be had there, people. Apparently, he's willing to leave Barcelona, and steps are being taken in that regards, people. Chelsea are on the hunt for an attacking player. I reckon Spurs might get him just because they've been aggressively looking for a wide man, and you'd imagine if you're Ansu Fati, you know, Postecoglou looks like he's doing good things at Spurs. It looks like you could get game time over there. At Arsenal, you could get game time, but there's a lot of players. The same said for Chelsea. I do think you'd be a great addition for Unai Emery's men over at Aston Villa. So we'll have to monitor that one. Apparently, Arsenal have agreed to send Nuno Tavares on a season-long loan to Nottingham Forest. Apparently, we'll bank £2 million after agreeing a deal, and he's got £12 million option to make him permanent to Nottingham Forest. And obviously, you know, I think actually Guendouzi looks like he could be leaving Marseille to go to Lazio, folks. So there might be some more money pouring in. Considering the fact that he's played 28 times for Arsenal and cost 6.8 million, it'd be nice to double our money if we could have sold him outright, but that wasn't to be. So we wish Nuno Tavares all the best at Nottingham Forest and hope he can hit the ground running and set the Premier League alight. Arsenal are keen to offload a number of players who have not made Arteta's matchday squads of late, including Rob Holding, who's once again been linked with Luton. He's been linked with Luton, Crystal Palace, Wolves, Betis, Sevilla, and I'm definitely missing someone else. Lokonga, it seems like it's gone quiet on that front. Cedric Suarez and Nicolas Pepe. Once again, allegedly right now, Smith-Rowe is not for sale. Once again, apparently Nuno Tavares and Murillo, another player Nottingham Forest have signed, will both sign their new documents today, people. Once again, he'll join Nottingham Forest on a £2 million loan fee, with a 12 million buyout clause. Caught in two minds there, started daydreaming about, you know, are we going to make a profit or not? Apologies. Apparently Guendouzi is heading to Rome to sign for Lazio. That's only relevant to Arsenal because, again, I don't know how much the sell-on clause Arsenal have in his contract, but we're due some money, and any money we can get is great. We've obviously got loan fees now for Kieran Tierney. We're going to get something for Tavares. There's been a number of under-21 players that have departed on loan, as you lot know. Austin Trusty has departed permanently, as has Pablo Marie, and I'm probably missing out a couple of others. So we're trying to claw back some finances, and hopefully we can get some more players moved on. Balogun will officially sign in as a new AS Monaco player today, according to Romano. His medical was completed on yesterday. Arsenal will receive 40 million euros package, and apparently add-ons included, plus a sell-on clause, which is great for someone that's played 10 odd times for Arsenal. Better yet, 30 odd million quid is decent money. You know, the asking price was 50. We've done all right in that regards. Maybe we could have got more. Apparently, Mallorca have asked for the conditions of a Rob Holding deal. Negotiations are ongoing. Possible solutions in the Prem remain after Luton Town called on Monday. Mallorca trying to find a way now. Whether they have the finances to get it done, who knows, people. There is actually something else on Rob Holding. Once again, Luton are exploring a move for Arsenal defender Rob Holding, who also has interest from Sevilla and Mallorca, as we've discussed. Apparently, Luton's move for midfielder Isaac Hayden, ironically another Haylen boy with Arsenal ties, plays a midfielder and a centre-half. Maybe because that's allegedly broken down means they're circling back for Rob Holding. I'm not sure. As we know, he's not, you know, his days are numbered. He can leave Arsenal Football Club with his head held high, signed for 2 million quid, won a couple of trophies here. I wouldn't quite say a cult hero, but he's had cult hero moments. You're just not of the standard of where we need to go. Yeah, you might be a good guy and great around the changing rooms, and I'm sure that's needed and stuff like that, but we're here to win football matches. If you can be friends, that's a benefit. And I would say with Mikel Arteta kind of in the last couple of years now, kind of reworking the team and building it in his image, surely we need to stop leveraging, not even just in Holding's case, but I do think football fans are guilty of talking about what these players quote unquote aren't doing or are doing on the training ground and how good they are in the dressing room, which I don't knock it. There's defo sense to it, but we're also not there. So we don't know. He's got a year remaining on his Arsenal deal with the option to extend by another year. So maybe Arsenal extend it just to protect us next summer, maybe getting a fee. It's a bit disappointing that, you know, Tavares Holding, Tierney, you know, Tierney's gone, Tavares gone, that we couldn't get permanent fees really, because, you know, in a year from now, we're still going to revisit this essentially, even though I didn't want Tierney to bust out, but we'll have to see what's exactly going on really and truly. Apparently, Arsenal have been linked with Benfica defender Alexander Barr. He's actually quite decent. I don't know him religiously, but he's good at interceptions. His marking's good. His positioning's really decent. You have heard, you know, the Independent and things like that say Arsenal are looking out for a fullback. We do need another defensive body in after Timber's injury, and you're never quite, Tierney's gone, and you're never quite confident in Tomiyasu more so than Zinchenko staying fit for the majority of the season. But Arsenal now hold an interest in signing Benfica's Alexander Barr this summer as they explore options to find a new fullback. Early in the summer, he was actually linked with Barcelona. That's according to this outlet, who have shared that Arsenal could be a particularly attractive option for Barr. And although Benfica are not in a rush to sell Barr, they could entertain an offer of around £30 million, according to the report. Arsenal have been pushing on with departures with their squad in recent weeks, and reports suggest that because they still have some targets in mind, particularly at fullback, and we all know Timber's injury has been a problem. This article has said people would be an exciting option for Arsenal. He's strong in possession and possesses excellent recovery speed. He's quite decent at 25 years of age, people. They bought him last summer. So yeah, we'll have to see what they want. I don't know if Arsenal are going to spend 30 odd million quid. It seems like, the Carl Walker Peter rumors, has gone quiet. Timothy Cassandre, which I'm sure a lot of you weren't keen on, but he was linked with Arsenal, is now signed for Fulham. So if we are going to bring another defensive option, we're going to need to get a move on. We've already spoken about that. Keeping up the theme with departures, apparently Salah, young Arsenal forward Salah Eddin Olad, I can't pronounce his name, but he's a very, very decent central midfielder, been dealt a tough time with injuries, very good technical footballer. Seems like he'll be heading back to Holland, people, and signed for Den Bosch on loan until the end of the season. Hopefully he can put himself in the shop window. He's quite versatile, can play in midfield, can play out wide. So we'll have to see exactly what's going on in that regards. But, I do think a lot of under-21s in our club and everywhere else, they need to push and bang on the doors of either Arteta or a team where they can play first-team football, because I do think a lot of them are getting to that middle ground where, for a variety of reasons, the many things we need to achieve at first team level, and the fact that they're not quite ready for that, I don't think they're going to get a look in there. And a number of them probably have hit a glass ceiling in the under-21s. They're faster, they're stronger, speed of thought, playing against the same players. Again, academy football, in my opinion, bar the occasional cup game, or if you play a couple of first teamers who are on the fringes of the first team squad, you don't really learn anything. So you're kind of stuck in this middle ground, in that first team football up here, under 21s up there, and you're just stuck here. So a lot of them need to go and progress in that regards, and look to really just kick their futures on. Finally, people, we already know Arsenal are trying to get a move on without goings. This article has leveraged the fact that Rob Holding is wanted by Crystal Palace, and obviously we have an interest allegedly in Mark Guehi. I can't imagine Crystal Palace let Guehi leave at this moment in time unless it's a stupid fee. I don't even think 50 million is going to get him, really and truly, because they're going to obviously have to find replacements. And I wouldn't, to be kind to Rob Holding, Mark Guehi, he's a very good defender. I don't think Rob Holding's talking to him or could lace his boots, and I think that would be quite the drop off, really, with Holding. So we'll have to see, people. I think this article is a case of getting 2 and 2 and making $1 million. But yeah, once again, according to transfer expert Peter Root, Palace are among the clubs keeping tabs on Holding, with Wolves and Betis also in the mix, people. Once again, Luton, Mallorca, Sevilla are apparently rivaling them lot for his signature, and we did reject a Besiktas offer earlier on in the season. So we'll have to see. Guehi has a price tag of 60 million. Apparently also have an interest in him. I can't see us moving from at this moment 60 million. And for Guehi, I welcome great players, to have Benjamin Wood. I'm happy with our defensive options already, provided everyone was fit. But in theory, assuming everyone's fit, to have the luxury of Timber that can play left back and right back and also centre half. The same said for Tomiyasu, obviously Gabriel, Saliba, Benjamin White. There's probably, at a push, Declan Rice. We've got some great defensive options. Of course, I would want to add Guehi into this, but at 23 years of age, you're playing on a regular basis for Palace. If you do take the step up to Arsenal or elsewhere, you are going to have to fight for your place. But it doesn't really make sense beyond the prestige of Arsenal, what Arteta is doing, the factor of us being a bigger club, quote unquote, than Crystal Palace, and us achieving higher things than them, with the greatest of respect to Palace. I don't think it makes sense. I don't think there's a like for like, and I can't see Arsenal spending 60 million because of the points I've kind of quote unquote discussed. So we'll have to see, really and truly, in that regards. But with that being said, that brings an end to this leg of the transfer news, people. Any emerging news, I'll be out with the videos for you lot again at 5 p.m. I kind of went over the Fulham game. I did a tactical analysis video where I went over the Fulham game. I mentioned, big up Saka, Ramsdale, Odegaard, and Saliba for all winning honours for PFA. In the last video that's going to come out at 5 p.m, I spoke about that. I spoke about Fulham. I spoke about potentially Kai Havertz, getting dropped as well for Fabio Vieira. I think that's the main topic of the video. So 5 p.m. UK time, make sure your notification bells are on and you have a look at that. Check out the playlist. Make sure you're following on all the socials. socials, Deluded Gooner 04, typically on everything. Make sure you're following on Twitter and Instagram in particular. Most importantly, smash the like button, comment your own thoughts, stay safe, stay blessed. One love, folks.
There's always just that active red light defending.
I think it's like